Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Madison Fire District regular session, September 17th, 7 p.m. Roll call, please.
Mr. Adams.
Here.
Mr. Anderson.
Here.
Mr. Donaldson.
Here.
Mr. Lee. Mr. Sill.
Here.
Mr. Wayman.
Here. If you would, please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we have a set of minutes from the August 20th, 2025, the regular minutes. Do I hear a motion on that set of minutes?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Adams.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mr. Sill.
Yes.
Mr. Donaldson.
Abstain.
Mr. Wayman.
Yes. We have bills and payroll. Bills in the amount of $99,835.27. A payroll of $204,460.42. And tax collection fees of $8,089.39. That totals out to $312,385.08. Do I hear a motion on the bills?
Yeah, that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Is Joanne with us tonight, or?
Yes.
She was
She
on
is.
there.
She'd be online.
Okay.
The only thing out of the ordinary this time was Richmond, the insurance of $30,896.
Okay, thank you, Joanne. Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mr. Sill.
Yes.
Mr. Donaldson.
Yes.
Mr. Wayman.
Yes.
Mr. Adams.
Yes.
Okay, we have our August 2025 financial report, Joanne.
Sure, we started August with $7,091,668.83. Our month-to-date revenue collected was $1,737,660.72. That's our second half property tax. Our year-to-date revenue is $4,748,206.65. Again, our month-to-date expenditures was $312,385.08. Our year-to-date expenditures is $2,646,358.05. Our start of September with $8,516,944.47. And right now I have it covered $899,920.02, which if we paid everything came due list, this was $7,617,024.45.
Okay.
Just remember these figures, that balance does seem a little high, but we have the big payout that comes in December for annual holidays and for the fire department, the payroll is a big payout, and a loan.
Gotcha. Okay, does anyone have any questions for Joanne at this time?
Yeah, Joanne, how many payments do we have left on the loan?
We have this year and next year.
Okay. And I noticed the interest revenue is pretty strong.
Yeah.
From what you've seen, how do you feel about the income is what we're seeing from EMS and whatnot? It looks like it's pretty good, but I'm still new, so I'm trying to get an idea of how that looks to you.
Yeah, it's still looking good. Well, we pretty much have collected all of our revenue except for EMS and interest. So otherwise, the general fund, we have pretty much collected all of our revenue.
Okay.
So property tax rollback a little bit coming in, but that's it.
Okay. And I noticed, obviously, this year our legal fees are pretty high. Is it possible, obviously not today, but if you can get me information on what the legal fees have been the last 4 or 5 years?
Yes, I can do that for you.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Anyone else? Thank you, Joanne.
Yeah.
Okay,
Probably want me for the next one too.
yeah, okay. Yeah, the resolution 25-18, would you like to read that, please?
Sure, this actually comes from the county. This is a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditors.
Okay, do I hear a motion on resolution 25-18?
Yeah, that motion.
I'll second it, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, made and seconded. Any further discussion on the resolution? Roll call, please.
Mr. Saul.
Yes.
Mr. Donaldson.
Yes.
Mr. Lehman.
Yes.
Mr. Adams.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Okay, we have Zappatelli Financial Services. Are we to vote on using them in deferred compensation provider this evening?
I don't think I want to vote for that, but I'm happy to discuss it because I certainly have feelings about it.
That's fine. Tom, if you want to speak to it, go ahead. Anybody that would like to speak to it, do so.
Okay. Has anybody had a chance to review the documents?
No, I haven't, to be honest with you.
Has anybody any thoughts on it? So, in my experience, what I've seen over the years with something like that, you know, fundamentally their services come from Equitable. Equitable is basically an annuity company, and a lot of things that, and this comes from a place of wanting to make sure our guys are taken care of, our guys and girls. When you look at something like that, they focus mostly on variable annuities, and a variable annuity has a redundant tax benefit inside of a 457 plan. It also has higher fees, a surrender schedule with penalties, lower performance because of fee drag, and quite honestly, they're really designed more to protect the advisor. It's a very complicated product, and I don't think in general most people understand them when they're getting into them. So I don't necessarily want that to be something that gets pushed into, you know, the employee's face and explained the way they think it needs to be explained. So I'm not a fan, if you could tell.
Makes sense.
Yep, I agree.
And I would,
But this is something, Chief, is this not something that the unions want?
I'll defer to Joanne, but I believe there was 3 or 4 people that were interested in making it part of their payroll deductions and possibly as an investment or a retirement plan. But I don't know how many it is now. Joanne, can you expand on that? You're muted.
You're on mute, Joanne.
Yeah, no.
she's still muted.
Still not hearing. Sean, can you help with that?
Joanne, we're not getting anything.
The mic's on.
That's the official.
How about you say something, Sean?
Test 1 2.
Yes.
Yeah, we got you.
How about now, Joanne?
You have me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Apologies, continue.
That's it. I have not heard how many more are interested in going with this company.
So there's only a few out of all the full-times that want this?
Yeah, roughly just under 40 employees, so there's just a small number.
And is
Yeah.
it people who are preparing for retirement, or are they just wanting to look at this?
I believe it was an option again, Joanne. I'll defer to you on this one since you kind of spearheaded it.
Well, actually, no, I didn't, I actually was kind of against bringing another deferred comp in
Yeah.
because of the situation that I have with that Empower
Yeah.
and some payments and everything, so I was kind of against bringing them in. Since it was a public meeting, I let them come in and speak since other members of the fire department wanted them to bring them in.
Yeah, there's a lot of language in the contracts that can allow them to have access to records and things that they want to do. And I feel very strongly about that when somebody's looking into something like that, they really don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're getting into and what they're signing, and that can be detrimental to them.
So Joanne, so let's say the majority then of the department is using something else.
Right, they're using Ohio deferred comp and
Okay.
it's called Empower.
Right.
Okay. Very
Yeah,
good.
Empower's the TPA, so they're going to have a much bigger, Empower's going to have a much bigger store of selection as far as investments go than what this would have.
So Tom, what would be the benefits of this? Why would they be? I understand it's just another option, but you're the finance guy, so I'm just
What
asking.
would be the benefits
Why would they be going
for
to something
them?
like this? Yes.
Do you want me to be frank? They have very high commissions on these products, so it benefits them.
They do.
So what, I mean,
The
our
provider.
members.
I would not want our members involved in it.
Okay.
I'm not saying, and I want to tread lightly here, I'm not saying that Equitable isn't a good company. I mean, I've used them for different things in the past, but it's a very small niche of people that fit the need for something like that, and I don't want to see them pushing that on any of our firefighters. I just don't. Because they're going to make it sound like it's something they want and need, and I can tell you most of the time it's not.
Very good. Thank you.
That's good enough for me.
Me too. I agree. I read it.
So we'll just hold off on that. If the board's good with that.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I am.
All right. Okay. So that's off. Okay, now we have our opening public portion. Anyone wishing to address the board may do so by giving your name and address for the record.
I'm not going to be able to stand for this.
That's fine.
I'm also going to ask you to please hold your comments until I'm finished, out of respect for me. My name's Kathleen Carter Fallhammer. My address is 5623 River Road.
Thank you.
I am a paying township tax person, so I have every right to be here as you. All right, let me just start out with, dear Madison Fire District Trustees, Chief Meister, and Legal Counsel Stacy Dane. I would like to present facts regarding Captain Brian Fallhammer leading up to this meeting tonight. Captain Brian Fallhammer has been with the Madison Fire District as a firefighter since 2000, during which time he has represented this department to the community with pride and self-respect. He has worked his way through the ranks to captain, obtaining many certificates and specialized training to provide the best care for the department and community. He has been the BWC representative for Local 3141 for 12 years, during which time he has handled many injured workers in the same way this particular worker was handled, which was established by Joanne Clapp in the affidavit written long after the fact, from November 26th of 2023 on June 27th, 2025. Today, we meet again to rehash the business that has led up to you as the Board of Trustees for Madison Township to discipline an innocent firefighter who performed his duties without so much as a policy or protocol defining his role as a Bureau of Workers' Compensation representative for his fellow Local 3141 firefighters. As discussed repeatedly, from the time the injured worker reported their injury on September 11th, 2023 to today, the course that was taken was not in any way obstructed, presented any false statement or rumor concerning this matter. Standard Operating Procedure 100.00P7I. If anything, the injured worker has caused their own demise regarding a hostile environment and encouraging another person to place an anonymous fraud charge on June 19, 2024. If Captain Brian Fallhammer had indeed placed the fraud charge you are accusing him of, a C-86 form would be available for public knowledge. This anonymous fraud claim was called in prior to Captain Brian Fallhammer talking with the BWC regarding his hypothetical questions on June 21st, 2024. That, unfortunately, is not to this day spelled out in the job position, which prompted his phone call to BWC clarifying it because it's not been approved by you, the Board of Trustees. Any inaccuracies for the injured worker was not made by Captain Brian Fallhammer, but by your own legal counsel and fiscal officer, Joanne Clapp, as shown throughout this case. The independent investigator who worked with your current legal counsel, Stephanie Landgraf, Esquire, now a magistrate in Lake County Domestic Relations Court, her history does not include investigations into workers' compensation law, but instead family law, custody, child support, divorce, dissolutions, has not produced any written investigative records regarding her investigation. The only statement that seems to link her to that was that Captain Brian Fallhammer was consistent with his responses as to not filing a fraud report. As to you, the Madison Board of Trustees, to have sworn to uphold the law to the best of your ability, have committed your own crimes in agreeing to use taxpayer dollars to place an injured worker on paid status and give them vacation time back, costing the Madison Township taxpayers approximately $2,235.40. This is, in fact, a crime of misuse of public funds and against BWC that states specifically they are not only to not receive these benefits, but also not to be working during this disability. The restrictions are printed and or emailed to said person with each claim. They have to answer that question with each pay. This has constituted a crime from both you, Madison Township trustees, and the injured worker. The injured worker admitted working from home and at the station restocking during their injury. This can be pursued by us, the taxpayers, even though BWC, Ohio Ethics Commissions, or Attorney General has not as of yet filed a case against the two of you. Local 3141 states in the contract what each employee will earn during disability. Again, you, Madison Township trustees, chose to ignore the contract and give what was not theirs. The past Local 3141 employees, which have since requested their BWC files that have not had that privilege, may be your fraud caller and not the representative for the BWC at that time, Captain Brian Fallhammer. Any fraud complaint with Form C-86 would have had to go through Chief Meister and Stacy Dane first. Once again, no solid proof, only accusations. Just as you, Madison Township trustees, have assumed the email Brian sent to Chief Meister and Stacy Dane was an admittance of a fraud claim. In fact, had you asked for clarification instead of assuming, we all understand what that word means, you would not be here today wasting taxpayers' money. This has become a disturbing waste of time and energy by all involved when there are so many more important issues in Madison Township that truly needs your attention. I am recommending you discontinue this pursuit of discipline with no actual proof of anything you have shared to this point can be substantiated.
Okay, thank you for your comments this evening.
Yep.
Anyone else care to comment at this time? Okay, we'll move on.
Yeah, I'd like to know why the special investigator reports have not been released. There's no notes, no nothing. He said, she said, is that what it comes down to be? That's to you.
Sir, state your name for the
Mark,
record,
Brian's
please.
dad.
Okay,
I want to
what?
know why those haven't been released, or there's no notes and haven't been released. Why? Why? Answer the question.
I'll answer it. We have a case going on
Yeah.
right now.
I understand, but
and we
there's no
can't.
notes. That should be
Well-
handed over to the union and everybody else. It's like the prosecuting defense. Each side gets all the evidence. You don't present all the evidence. You hide it.
All public records and all responsive records are being produced
Right.
When?
as they are being requested.
When?
They have been produced. They are being produced.
Yeah.
We have multiple requests pending, and they're
Right.
all being answered.
Okay,
Okay,
let's move on.
we're going to move to legal counsel. Stacy, I believe you probably have something tonight.
I did. As I brought up to the chairman shortly before the meeting, I was contacted right before the meeting, and it is going to require a brief executive session to discuss pending litigation pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 12122G3. It will be brief, but I do have to bring something to the board's attention. So,
Okay,
Sounds
thank
good to
you.
me.
thank you.
Under old business, we have the MFD Policy 100, Fire Service Authority. I believe we made a change in that last meeting.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, under that supervisor authority section, it was switched even after additional discussion to any officer may relieve a member under his or her command. So
Right.
that's where it's going to stand now. The only other thing that I wanted to mention is it references Ohio Revised Code 73711 and Section 50537. I think it should also reference 505.371 because that's actually the statute that creates joint fire districts. So just to make sure all the code sections are being referred to. But other than that, I think it's okay if the board wants to
Okay.
approve it tonight.
And I have two copies here, and I don't know if they're both the same or not.
No, they're not.
Ms. Dame, could I get you to read that resolution?
I don't think we have a resolution. I think we were just going to do these by motion as they came in because
Correct.
they were going to be.
Right, because we have
These
a bunch
ones
to
under
do.
the policies.
Right.
Okay. Would anyone care to make a motion then?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any further discussion at this time? Roll call.
Mr. Donaldson?
Yes.
Mr. Wayman?
Yes.
Mr. Adams?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Stoll?
Yes.
Okay. Now we will move on to Resolution 25-019. If you would read that, please, for me.
Yes, this is a resolution approving a contract presented by the Lake County Sheriff on behalf of Lake County Commissioners for dispatch and communication services from January 1st, 2026 to December 31st, 2030, authorizing the Chief of the Madison Fire District to enter into said contract and authorizing payments provided therein. Mr. Chairman, I have reviewed the contract. It is basically word for every previous contract that I've reviewed from Central Communications. The only difference, obviously, is in Section 2, where it outlines the different rates for each year, and it does specify what those are going to be for 2026, 2027, 28, 30. And then for each station, there's going to be that $600 annual cellular VPN to Lake County. We talked about this in January because that was an ad, so that's the same as what we approved with the last contract. But then there's also a $4,000 annual fire station alerting maintenance per station, and then additional fees to connect. So I just wanted to point those out to make sure that the board was aware that those figures, as outlined in the table, there's additional fees on top of that.
Yeah, there is quite a bit of additional fee there.
And one question that the chief posed to me, in Section 3, because I know there, with the different 911 services that are coming out, there may be some other options that he may be wanting to look at. And the agreement can be terminated by giving written notice at least 6 months in advance of the next, year renewal. So we would have that option, just to make the board aware.
Okay.
But we wouldn't be able to do that until the 5 years or at any time?
Within the 5 years.
Within the 5 years. So it's going to renew every year, basically on January 1st. So if in June, the prior year, we've made a decision that we're not going to use the
We just
central
have- right.
communications.
We just have to give them the 6 months.
Correct.
Notice.
Yeah, or we'll be stuck for another year.
And, Justin, how much did we pay for 2025? Where were we at?
We paid
It's like 120,
$133,114.09 plus the $600.
But not the 4,000?
Not the
per station?
4,000.
So an additional 8,000.
Correct. And the contract said that that was based on a 3% increase plus the CPI of the previous year.
So we're going up to normal about 10,000, but plus now this other, whatever it is,
Yeah, it's going up like
8,000
6% a
or
year. It looks
9,000.
like.
Yeah, that's
6% a year. It
6%.
looks like.
They're getting
That's
us.
6% without the
Yeah,
$8,000.
that's what I'm saying.
So it's.
That's
more
quite a
than
bit.
7,000.
Actually, it's a big jump.
That's quite a bit.
It is.
Justin, you had a meeting with them. Did they give any justification to some of the increase levels?
Mr. Sill, yeah, we had a meeting and they were in the process of, we have another meeting next month, probably a little over a month from now. They were in the process of figuring out the new formula that they've been discussing for a while. So there is a formula, a spreadsheet that's going around that's putting us in tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 and so on. And it's based on call volume. We just happen to be one of the higher usage departments of 911 with respect to fire departments. So we're up in tier 1. Basically, it's to catch everybody up. So the way I read the document is we're all, like, I believe it's us, Painesville Township and Painesville City. We're all at a different step or a different cost right now, but at the end of year 5, we're all going to be at the same level, same cost in tier 1. So we're all getting each subsequent year, we're getting our own little percentage raise to eventually meet up at the same level in 5 years, which is basically coincidentally when next gen 911 is supposed to be implemented across Ohio. So
When you say same cost, is it same cost per call,
Well,
or is it same
at the end of 5 years, we're all going to pay the same
$2
rate.
a call or whatever?
It's going to be,
As others in the tier, because
yes,
they're still
there's-
tiering it out.
Yeah, so at the end of, let's just
Because I
say.
know there's a variation in between
Oh,
departments.
do you need the figure?
Yeah, so at the end, in 2030, so if you were to look at all of our 5-year contracts, we're all paying a little bit different each year, but in 2030, the way I understand it, we're all going to be paying that same 180,000 and change in tier 1.
I'll just have to correct that. There's two 2030s on there.
Yeah.
Oh, correct, yeah, 2029,
Yeah,
right.
we saw that
Typo.
last time.
So that's how the contracts, I believe, are being built from the county. So,
So the tiers are established by call volume, and if you happen
By
to fall in,
usage.
within 5 years, if you happen to fall in a tier, you're paying a straight fee regardless of your call volume, because your call volume's in a bucket, let's say.
yeah, so the 3 of us are in the same one. At the end of year 5, if their call volume goes down, or they meet a threshold to drop a tier, or somebody in the lower tier gets to move up, I guess that's a possibility, but again, that's 5 years from now, once this contract reaches its maturity. So that's kind of the way I see the county doing their calculations for their respective fire departments that they serve. Police departments as well are in there. So again, we don't really have many options. I mean, it is a lot of money, but I mean, that's a big part of what we do and how we get notified to go on calls. With Next Gen 911, I think we're going to have more options to shop, like Willoughby Dispatch, there's Mentor Dispatch. I don't know if we're able to go outside the county. That's some more research that I have to do to see if that's a viable option. But I do think in the middle of this contract, that's why I asked Ms. Dame to to review it and read it. The way I thought it read as well is we have 6 months to get out. If, say, in year 2, we're like, and in April, I get information, hey, we have another good option where we're going to save, you know, $40,000 a year and we don't have to pay these VPNs or these other fees. You know, is that something that that's going to work for us and not be the same type of a service we'd expect for the community? So that's kind of what we're looking at in the future. But for right now, I think this is kind of where we're at with it, and not many options, unfortunately.
So it sounds like we need to, it sounds like we need to look for another option.
I don't
That's what I
disagree with that.
That's what I feel.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people are doing. And then when they throw on these other fees, they know we have to pay them.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like, I guess.
Yeah, because it still looks like it's
So-
going up about 7%. I don't know what this catch-up thing is, but
Yeah.
that's like someone telling you they undercharged you, and then the next job trying to charge you more for that. That's not our fault.
That, and then they
didn't do it
throw
correctly
on,
the
they
first
throw
time.
on these extra fees, and I guess that's the problem I have. I mean, I think that's ridiculous.
I do too.
You know, and there's nothing, I mean, there's never any negotiating here with them.
No.
They give it to us and that's what we have to pay.
Correct.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a definition of a monopoly, so.
That's ridiculous. So I would say, I would, going forward, I would want to look at our options, and I would start looking at our options. So,
Good idea. So we have a resolution on the floor there. Any further discussion on it? Roll call?
I think you need a first and a second, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, sorry.
We didn't get a first and second on
We
that?
did
No,
not.
We started talking too
Okay.
much, so.
Would anyone care to make a motion on 25-019?
So moved.
Is there a second? I'll second it. Roll call.
Mr. Lehman.
Yes.
Mr. Adams.
no.
Mr. Anderson.
No.
Mr. Sill.
No.
Mr. Donaldson.
Yes.
The noes have it, right?
Correct.
We gotta figure out what we're gonna do for dispatch then.
Start using your cell phones.
What I would do is, I would just go back to them, chief, and I would discuss this. I just think this is ridiculous, and they just throw these fees on here, and there's no negotiating. That's my issue I have. They just put it in front of us, they set it there and say, sign it. I just think that's wrong. I just think we need to go back to the table with them and say, no, you need to work with us. We need to do something other than this.
Like I said, I have a meeting next month, the end of October, I believe. I do believe the other departments have these same fees on there as well. It's a standard contract for the rest of the departments that use Central. I don't necessarily agree with it either. Like I said, we don't have many options at this point. I did go to a Willoughby meeting for their dispatch. They are in the process of completing their new police station that has a dispatch center. I do think that in the future could be a viable option. I don't think they're quite there yet with their capabilities of taking multiple departments on. But I can definitely explore that option a little bit more.
Yeah, I definitely didn't mean to
within
put
the
you in a
next-
time
before
crunch
the
here.
next meeting,
But,
yeah.
you know, and I know we are in a time crunch, but this is, you know, we do this every contract. Every contract, we just go ahead and sign. There's never any negotiating back and forth with them. So, I don't like that.
Chief, can you talk to somebody at the county before the next meeting?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the time frame on this? We have to, we gotta get,
Well, it's by the end of the year. I mean,
Correct.
By the end of
Yeah.
do we have that
December.
much time?
Yeah, our
Okay.
current contract goes through the end of this year.
Okay,
So we have a couple months.
And this comes from the commissioner's office too. I know it goes through Central, but the commissioners ultimately make these contracts. So,
well, good luck with dealing with those folks, I'm sorry.
Yeah, find out any other way we can do it. If we can't, you know, we got till the end of the
yeah,
year
I'll
to make a decision, so.
chip
Yep.
away. All right.
Okay, we'll move on.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Justin, have you looked at any other suburban communities outside of Columbus and how they handle their dispatch?
No, I haven't traveled to Columbus for that.
It might be worth a while to
Sure.
see what they do.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. New business, we didn't take care of that, but we will eventually. Okay. Chief's report.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Hold on, policies.
What about the other policies?
What?
There's several other policies that are on the
Okay.
agenda prior to.
Oh, the proposed policies for administrative communications.
Mhm.
MFD proposed policies, administrative communications, Americans with Diabetes Act,
Disabilities.
ADA compliance, district directives, electronic mail, liability claims, limited English proficiency services, organizational structure and training. Who wants to speak to that?
I can start. I've had a chance to review the policies. There are a couple of changes that I would make to some of them, nothing too substantive. My biggest question would be on the one regarding the Americans with Disabilities Act compliance and the limited English proficiency services. Both of them have where we would have a compliance officer selected, and that person would be tasked with making sure that our services are available to those subsets of individuals. The policies are very specific as to what types of things that we would do, especially like, say, for example, with the limited English proficiency services, having a certified trained translator for someone who doesn't speak English, regardless of what language is available. And I guess my question would be, do we know where we would go for that service? Or are there people with other departments who we could utilize to meet that before we adopt the policy? Because basically, once we adopt the policy, we're saying that we're going to do these things. So I want to make sure that we're not putting the horse before the cart, I guess, or cart before the horse, and making sure that we have what we're going to say we're doing in place.
Right.
I wasn't sure if that was for internal purposes or external. Was this for speaking
I
with
think it's
citizens or speaking
both.
with employees?
The way that I read it,
I
it's
thought it was
both.
And they're federal, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would open you up for a lot of litigatory issues if we don't offer that.
Well, I don't have a problem with us offering it and having somebody in charge of making sure that any requests that come in or any issues that come in are handled appropriately. But the policies themselves are very specific as to a number of things that we have to have in place and provide. And I don't know that we have those things in place right now. So that would be my only concern, is maybe if we're going to adopt those policies, see what we can get as far as services so that we have them on the ready, and then tailor the policy maybe down a little bit more to not make it so problematic for us in implementation of it. Just my thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, do we have to vote to adopt them?
I think that the way we're doing this, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chief, is Chief giving them to the board and to myself so that we have time to kind of work through these issues and anything else that we would see in our review of them. Obviously I'm relying on the chief and the rest of the department to make sure that it fits for their operations before it, gets to me.
Right.
But those are just the concerns that I would have. And most of my revisions were, like for liability claims in policy 203. It says that, that any claims reported should go to this, risk manager. Well, I'm asking that it be added in that the risk manager then notify Joanne and myself, because if we have an issue where we have to notify an insurance carrier, I want to make sure that that gets done, just as a checks and balance. So little things that I would add, and I can get those over, to the chief. But my biggest thing that I wanted to bring up is, with the ADA and the limited English proficiency, just making sure that it works for us and we're not getting our hands tied with the specifics that are in there. I mean, because the one is like 10 pages long.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's comprehensive.
Do we have the ability to grab some of these and approve some of these, and then some we table?
Well,
Or do we
I was
have-
wondering if we needed like a standardized process here. So like they're given to the board like this before the board meeting in an email or something like that. We could have a discussion at the board meeting, one more board meeting to provide
To approve
additional
them,
comments, one more, and perhaps at that next meeting, they're reviewed again and some additional edits. But I would think it's going
Yeah.
to take a couple board meetings to
I
go
would
through
think so too.
each stack of 5, let's say, or something.
There's a lot to swallow.
There's going to be a lot more
Yeah.
coming. There's going to be a lot more coming.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So we kind of need a standardized process. So if we have comments about this batch this week, should we just talk to you, or are we going to do that tonight, or?
Yeah,
go
I mean-
Through them? How do you want to, what do we want our process, do we want to sit here at this meeting asking questions about this, or do we want to just?
I personally like to study it a little more.
Yeah.
I barely looked at it.
Yeah, we just got 'em
I
in.
would think once we get these, let's say we get them this week, then we can look them over and then we can talk about them like the next month.
Yeah.
So
So
that makes
we'd
it
be
a
running
2-month
just kind of
pro-
like the
yeah.
month behind or whatever.
Minimum of a 2-month process, or a
Yeah.
2-meeting process.
So they were emailed last
Yes.
week to everyone. You don't
Yes.
want that to happen?
No, we do
Just
want that to happen.
We do.
Okay.
But that was last week, so, I mean, that was, I consider that a few days ago. I mean, and if people are busy, that just gives us a few days before this meeting, So
Right.
I'm just thinking, if we're doing it like that, like Dan was saying, I would say everything would be finalized in two meetings. So,
Unless they're-
one, we're getting them, we
No,
can
I
start
just was
looking them
trying to
over,
figure
then.
out the time
then the
frame
second
of
month
when
we
you want
approve.
them emailed. So do you want them 2 weeks before the meeting, 3 weeks before the meeting?
Well, in this case, it's quite a bit, so a little more advance would be good, but generally, everything's pretty good. I mean,
Yeah, but,
This-
if there's
this
just
is-
like one coming out.
I think at least
that's a
2
little bit-
weeks.
yeah,
I would
it's a
think
lot
so.
more.
I would think at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That don't happen too often.
No, it
Well, and
doesn't.
a lot of
2
them are
weeks would
going
be
to be.
beneficial.
I just want to.
Yeah, it's a lot to read through.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, but many of these are going to be boilerplate too, and
Of course.
Right.
you couldn't change them if you wanted to,
Right.
right? All right, and so at the meeting, we're going to go through them one by one at the next meeting. So let's say the next meeting, so do we get our comments to you ahead of time, or wait till the next meeting and go over our notes at the?
I mean, usually you would want the comments to be made in the public meeting.
Right.
And then obviously those would be incorporated into the policy, and then, you could review them to make sure that they were all incorporated and that you didn't have any more before you approved it. So,
Okay.
I think for this set, it'll be a little bit off of the normal process, right? But, because it might take us a little bit longer since we didn't have the benefit of being able to have that review discussion tonight with the comments. But,
Correct.
Yes,
yeah, going forward,
but that'll be next month.
Next month. yeah.
Next month.
right?
Okay.
All right. Now we'll move to the chief's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For September, we got anniversaries. Robert Brecker has passed his 2-year mark. Joe Ramersher has 8 years. Jesse Sopko has 9 years, and firefighter Aaron Tennant has 10 years. Financial overview, as Joanne mentioned, we've collected about 98.2% of our budgeted revenue for year-to-date. EMS revenue, we've collected about 77.2 of the yearly projection, which is a little bit higher than anticipated, which is good. We spent about 52.4% of our annual budget through August. Staffing is stable. There's a little bit of overtime in there as we finish up the summer months. Call volume, we responded to 365 calls in August, 281 of the EMS variety, 84 fire calls. We're still on pace for about 100 or so over what we did last year, which is what we expected. Fire inspections are in your folder. Our Cola Creek Nursing Home is probably one of the bigger projects in town, and that's progressing nicely. They do have water to one of the hydrants in the back, so that'll be nice if there were anything to happen while they're finishing it up. Vehicles that were worked on last month, 2147, which was the vehicle that hit the deer down on Hubbard near Georgetown. That's over at Pikes for repairs right now. We anticipate that hopefully being done at the end of this week, maybe early next week. 2132 had its PM, which is our squad up here, along with some front-end work, brakes, rotors, or brakes, tie rods, alignment, etc. 2112, which is the reserve up here, had its PM as well, along with some fixes to the AC and some emission stuff, brakes, alignment, etc. Buildings, Station 3's generator. We thought we were going to have to replace one of the motherboards. I believe I mentioned that a couple months ago. Positive Energy was in to do a quick review of it and had some other fixes that he had in mind that he researched. He was able to get it fixed with just a change out of a couple of car batteries that start the generator of varying sizes. So far so good. So fingers crossed. That saved us quite a bit of money so far. And then some of the officer stuff. We had a meeting scheduled with Cardinal Woods. They've been calling us a lot more often than usual, the nursing home to the north. So we had a call with the new DON, the admin, and the one of the other nurses down there. Unfortunately, I had to step away last week for some family stuff, so that meeting got canceled. So I'll be revisiting that in the near future, along with some of the other facilities in town when we get those scheduled. Aside from that, some other things, training updates. For September, we did the VFIS driving course. This is where we set it up, so this alternates year to year. This gets our staff through 1 year. It's usually the cone drill, where we do serpentines, diminishing alleys, etc. around the stations. This year we did the driving course, which encompasses driving through the town and checking a bunch of boxes off with like railroads, side streets, highways, etc. Company did a walkthrough of Standing Rock Farms, that large campus out south, which was very informative for the crew. We already discussed the dispatch contract. And as I mentioned, I did attend a meeting at Willoughby PD for their dispatch presentation. Like I said, it could be a viable option. I think it's still a little bit early with the projects they got going on, but like you all talked about, I am concerned with the dispatch fees as well. And I'll continue to poke around and see if there are any other viable options for us to save some money and get the same level or better service that we need to take care of the community. And with that, that's all I have for the board. Do you have any questions for me? Yeah.
You forgot one item that we met and started discussing, the 2026 budget.
Oh, yeah, correct. So Joanne and I met, was it a couple weeks ago?
Yes.
So we started to put together some numbers for next year's budget. We're getting close, so I believe we have another meeting coming up soon here when she's in town. And hopefully we'll have that for you next month's meeting for approval, or consideration at least, and approval.
Before looking at, right.
Yeah.
For your discussion and review.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, anybody have a question for the chief tonight?
No.
Okay. Thank you, chief.
You're welcome.
Okay, at this time, we have our closing public portion. If anyone wishes to address the board. Okay. And closing board comments?
Yeah, just one. I know our fire family here has had some unfortunate circumstances lately. I know the Meister family has, I know Sopko family has, and our another longtime fireman, Greg Shannon, had passed away. So, you know, prayers and thoughts out to their families. So, to all you guys and Terry and them, you know, we're thinking about you guys. So, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other board comments? At this time, I'd entertain a motion to go into executive session, and I'd ask our legal counsel to read that for me.
For pending litigation, Ohio Revised Code 12122G3.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to adjourn into an executive session?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Stoll?
Yes.
Mr. Donaldson?
Yes.
Mr. Lehman?
Yes.
Mr. Adams?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
I don't believe there will be any business to discuss when we come back. Time is 7:50. Thank you. Okay, at this time, I'd like to call the meeting back to order. We met in executive session to discuss litigation. And the time now is 8:02. And at this time, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, that motion.
I'll second it, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Donaldson?
Yes.
Mr. Wayman?
Yes.
Mr. Adams?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Sill?
Yes.
Okay, time is 8:03. Meeting's adjourned. Next meeting will be October 15th at 7 PM here.